So I think I'm getting the hang of this whole video blog thing. I generally just ramble on my blog, Coming Clean, at blogspot.com or blogger.com, but it takes a long time to type with one hand, so I'm going to say what I have to say here. 2 months ago, 3, 4 months ago, I would have been able to go out shopping with a friend for a day or go, run around for a few hours. But then the next day I would be done. When I got home that day, I'd be done. Mentally, just my brain would feel mushy. And when I say that, I mean that it feels like when you're trying to come up with a thought, it's like walking through quicksand. Everything is very slow, murky, and it just hurts. Your brain hurts. And I know there are people who say your brain doesn't hurt. Your brain hurts. It hurts. It feels like mush. And physically, I'm just done. So basically, anytime I get physically exhausted, or anytime I get mentally exhausted, it all intertwines. Like I could read a new book and have to try to um, retain the information, and that'll affect me not only mentally but physically. Like once one gets fatigued, the other gets fatigued, and it's you're done, and then you're out for like 2 days. But today I went to a baby shower with friends where I didn't really know a lot of people. I spent 5 hours there. I helped clean up. I helped pass gifts. I played games. Very social, very active. Came home, watched game one of the NLCS, and we've got to rally, boys. Definitely got to rally. So when game one, it's okay, but we got to kick their asses tomorrow. And now I'm doing this. I I wouldn't have noticed the progress if I hadn't been faced with that. So a lot of times it seems like your progress may slow with anything, with any kind of injury, but you don't know your limits. You don't know how far you've come until you get tested again, until you have to put yourself through that, and you'd be amazed at how much progress goes unnoticed. When I first was in the hospital, first got out of the hospital, it was all gross motor skills that I was learning, all, counting change and playing dominoes. So you noticed all the progress right away. When you get your finger to move, when you take your first steps, when you finally lose the cane, when you can fill out a medical form by yourself. Those are all things that you're going to notice right away. But the fine motor skills and stuff that comes later, the main part of your recovery, that happens every day. And you probably won't know until like a few weeks, until you realize a big jump. So don't lose hope that things aren't getting better, because they are. They get better every day. As long as you get out of bed, as long as you continue to breathe, as long as you don't give up on yourself, you're getting better. You're making progress. And that's with anything emotional, anything physical, anything cognitive, anything monetary. That's any struggle you may ever come across. Take it day by day. And eventually, you're going to notice, holy shit, things have gotten a lot better. It's still hard. I expected when you get to the hospital, they tell you that, especially with the stroke and a young stroke, your brain's all like, it's got this elasticity. They talk to you they drill it into your head that every day is important. And the more you get back quickly, the more likely you'll get back to 100%. And so time is of the essence. And I spent a month in the hospital bed. Probably a week and a half in intensive care and the rest, on the surgical floor. And then when I was finally able to go to acute rehab, they tell you it's basically like 2 weeks, and they put into your head that you can be 100% when you walk out, that you can walk out, knowing that I had no function, no sensation in my left side. My eye was wonky. The face was drooping. It was big droop. So I got home. I got to the real world. I got back to the real world, and it was devastating because I thought that I hadn't done my job. And then I do my research when I get home, and it's a great motivational tool that they use. But the reality of it is that most of your recovery is at home. And any young person that has had a stroke has probably had a brain bleed and AVM like me, which is like a undiagnosed weak blood vessel that just like it's like a ticking time bomb. Happens between the ages of 25 to 55 most often. And in those patients, recovery can take up to a decade or even longer if they get back to 100%. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. And apparently I've made like amazing progress, and I appreciate every new like hurdle I've come over. And it's the little things that you notice. You don't notice them right away, but it's awesome. And all I have to say is that no matter how hard things get, no matter if it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's cognitive, whether it's monetary, whatever it is that's plaguing you, you take it one day at a time. Just continue to breathe. Just get out of bed. Get better. And you gotta shift your perspective because nobody in life is a victim. I mean, it's not what I mean. I've had sexual abuse. I've had lots of things happen where you don't ask for it, but you can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to learn a lesson. You can choose to let it make you stronger. You can choose to let it bolster you. And yeah, it's hard. I've seen things I wished I've never seen. Experienced things that, trust me, I could have learned a lesson without that. But, I mean, it is what it is, and it makes you who you are. I wouldn't change any of the traumatic things that have ever happened to me because it made me who I am today. It made me be able to get through this. It made me know that if I came through that, I can come through this, no problem. So you just have to know that you have it within you. You wouldn't have been given it if you didn't have it within you. I said that yesterday in tears. And I say it today with a smile because it's the truth. It's so freeing once you realize that you are in control of your circumstances. That you are dealt the cards you're dealt. Period in the story. Doesn't matter what your friends have. Doesn't matter what your enemies have. Doesn't matter what Joe Schmo down the street has. You have what you have to work with. And you just need to be grateful for what you have. Because whatever it is that you think that you're lacking, somebody else is working their ass off for what you have, for where you are, for how far you have come. So you can feel sorry for yourself, but that's just a waste. It's a waste of your time, it's a waste of the time of everybody that cares about you. I'm not saying I don't have my off days. If you saw my posting from yesterday, you'd see an off day. Doesn't mean it still can't be productive. Tears don't make you weak. Fear doesn't make you weak. Physical limitations, cognitive limitations, being broke does not make you weak. Working through them shows just how strong you are. Like giving up on yourself and expecting somebody to fix it for you, that makes you weak. You don't need anybody to fix anything for you. I don't care what the hell it is you're going through. You've got it within you. You wouldn't have been faced with it if you didn't have it within you. I know that for a fact. I don't know, I started this blog to try to get my story out there so that I could educate people, let them know that you're not alone. It doesn't matter what you're going through, but there's somebody else that's going through stuff too. So if I can help at least one person, then my journey has been worth it. I'm also gonna write a book because I sold magazines over the nation. I sold magazines all over the nation. That's a book in and of itself because you work, live, and play with the same people. Drive down in 15 passenger vans like a caravan down the highway. It's fun and it's reckless and it's profitable and it's an experience of a lifetime. There's childhood that everybody can write a book about because everybody's had some kind of messed up childhood. And this is just another chapter. I'm gonna make a book out of this because every brain injury is different and every recovery is different. But I think the two differences is that a lot of strokes happen, or a lot of big life or health issues happen when you're older and you have a different perspective on it. But when you're young and you're in an acute rehab facility and you're surrounded by 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-olds and you're the 120-year-old and they're thinking, what in the hell? You can let that get you down. You can let that stagnate your process and just accept that. That's a waste. I don't have it in me to give up. And I don't think many people do. Not so early. Maybe once you've lived your entire life. But you never know what's in store. So I spent a lot of time in the rehab facility getting to know all the people, all the other survivors, all the other recovery patients that were there with me. And I was told every single day, by somebody new, that I was inspiring, that I was amazing. They don't meet people like me. That's not the truth. If you have it in you, I mean, maybe it is kind of cool that I didn't take a pause, that as soon as I realized I came to you and was told what happened, I just went straight to work. But I'm finding that 2.5 years out now, and yeah, that progress, you don't see it every day. There's progress being made every day. You just don't see it because it's not big. It's not completely noticeable. Now I'm starting the mourning period, where you realize that life before, that's a memory. It's dead and gone. The person that you were before, you may be able to infuse some of that with who you are now, but you're not that person. You're not. And you can choose to let it make you angry and bitter and sure, or you can infuse the two and make the best version of yourself you could ever be. Because everything hard comes with lessons, and I've learned an infinite amount of lessons in these 2.5 years. One of the biggest ones I've learned is that you can get through it. And every time I think I can't get through it, I take another breath and I realize, shit. Yep, we're doing it. We're gonna keep going. And it makes you stronger. It makes you more appreciative of everything. Like, I took so much for granted before. Working, going to school, driving, interacting normally, not getting overwhelmed, all the stimulation I could take and being everywhere all the time. I used to be everything to everyone and expend so much energy just on everybody else because that's what made me feel good, was knowing that I helped other people. But you can't help other people if you're not helping yourself. If you don't have this squared away, you're not doing anybody else justice. You're not helping them as much as you could be. You're giving them some diluted version of what you would be giving or what you could be helping, how you could be helping them if this was right. So this needs to come first. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm saying take care of you. And then you can help everybody so much more. Like right now, I'm taking care of me. I focus for the first time in my life on me every day because I have to, because nobody else is going to get better for me. And now I'm putting my journey out there to help however many people decide they want to read or view this. Anybody that I talk to that's going through something hard that I meet on a regular basis, if you just share your perseverance, your perspective, you can change so many lives. And I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's anything special. I think it's what you should be doing. I think it's human nature. I think it's standard. What's up, 70? This is normal. There's nothing extraordinary about this except that it happened while I was young. And I'm glad it happened while I was young because now I get to earn that much more back. And I get to have this much perspective change this early. So now I know what really matters. It's not the quantity of the experiences. You have to go out and party and do as much as you can and have 800 friends. It's all about the quality, the people that reciprocate, the quality of the moments that you make, not the amount of them. I learned that. I mean, it's cool because I got to experience both, but I'm definitely enjoying the slower pace now. I can breathe and I enjoy everything. Everything. Because it's all a gift. It can all be taken away. You don't do anything. None of us are due anything. Every single thing is a gift. Your body, whatever issues you have with it, your family, your friends, whatever situation you're in, you're blessed. So you don't have to have any of it. You could not be breathing right now. You could be a gnat with a lifespan of like 24 seconds. I don't know. I do, though. I do believe that there's no cap on the amount of lessons that you can learn. I used to be so angry when I got out of the hospital because I felt like all of the lessons that I had learned before, all the coping mechanisms, all the mistakes that I had made and learned the lessons from and put into play, I felt like we're on an etch a sketch and it just got shaken and now I have to redo it. But you don't. Because you're still you, it's still in you. You're not that same version of yourself. But at the core, if those lessons really sunk in, they're still there. You might just view them differently. You might react differently. You might handle it differently. Not because those lessons aren't there anymore, but because you yourself are new. And you're constantly adjusting, constantly evolving, and it gets, how do I say it, shifted. So lessons still there, but it's tweaked a little bit. Probably for the better. So hopefully somebody watched this. Hopefully somebody either learned something or laughed at something or enjoyed something. If not, I got to ramble for 19 minutes and it was better than having to type it out for 36. So again, a blessing. Good night.